Namaste. So today we will see if I can put new life into this budget markers. The issue is that I've been trying to finish a lot of my 10 books to finish for the year 2022, and especially the color by number books. What happens is most of the pages have a similar color range, and a lot of my colors are getting used up. So as you can see over here, there are a lot of blues and greens which have got used, right, of different brands. So I finished these ones, so I went on to another brand, and then I went on to another brand, but then I'm just running out of them. And normally I would just throw them in the dustbin and use another lot, but I realized that I'm just throwing away too many markers. It's not so much about the money, it's also about the environment. I mean, these are pure plastic, and I doubt if there is anything that is being recycled. Once I throw them in the dustbin, they probably go to a landfill. So I thought, why not try to give them new life? Now I know that we can use alcohol to renew them. I do have Copic markers, some shades, and I do have refills for them. The problem is that the place where I stay, it's very difficult to get all the shades of the Copic refill. So I cannot be very generous with the usage of those, because at the end of the day, Copics are very expensive, and if I don't get a refill for them, then they are a bigger waste than these ones, right? So let's do one thing. I'll try and see if we can refill any of these, so, and probably use them. My biggest fear is that when I put alcohol, now alcohol markers tend to spread a lot. I have a feeling that when I put alcohol to renew them, they'll probably spread a lot more, and I'm not sure if that will keep them usable. In the sense, if they spread uncontrollably, then maybe I won't be able to use them anyway. So let's try maybe one or two and see how they spread on the paper, and then decide if it's worth it or not. So I did go to the supermarket just now and I purchased this bottle of alcohol. It was for 75 cents, and it is a lot. Okay, I don't have an ink dropper, so this is a big problem. I'm not really sure how I'm going to fill them in. I just hope when I break the seal there is something of a nozzle inside, at least a dropper. I am not really sure, but let's start at the beginning. So I will just put some kitchen towels just to be sure that I don't spoil my table. Okay, and let us check one of the pens which is like really very low on ink, so that we can test it out. Let me take a darker shade. This seems to still have life. By the way, the reason why these two seem to have more life is because I specifically inserted them with the fine point downwards, so that I can get more use out of them. So yeah, so they seem to have dripped down to the bottom. Let's see if we can find any. I seem to have, like, the trick of keeping them upright in this position seems to have worked. So let me color a few more pages and then come back when I have an empty pen. Let's see this one. Yeah, so I was using this marker, and it's, as you can see, not really coloring properly, right? So let's try to refill this one. But also, as I said, maybe if you're the type of person who uses the fine tip and you start running out of ink, just keep them in a upright position. I had kept them like this for maybe a couple of days, and they felt equally juicy. It's not much. I was able to color maybe 3 or 4 petals of a flower, so not really much, but yeah, there's some life left in them. So let's try. Um, Also, always it is recommended to refill from the broad tip, because the fine tip is quite narrow and it can get spoiled when you try to pull it out. So if it's only a fine tip one like a Sharpie, then you have no choice. But if you have the option of a broad tip, then suggest to do a broad tip. So you do need this pincer, okay? You can also just wrap a tissue paper around the nib and pull it out, but it takes a lot of strength to do that. So if you have a pincer, it's much better. Try to hold the pincer as close to the base as possible so that you don't spoil the tip of the nib. Okay, there. Now I did not even open the seal of this yet. Let me first do that. Okay, good. So it has a nozzle, so that will help it. And I will put maybe about 10 drops. I think that should do. There. As you can see, the tip of this pen is become very white because of lack of ink. And same thing with this. I don't know if you can, let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on, camera. Yeah, there you can see it's become quite faded because the ink has got used. So okay, the alcohol is dripping all over, so be very careful. Maybe I put in too much, so maybe instead of putting 10 drops you can try with less than that. And I'm going to, since I put it from the broad tip, I'm going to keep it upright in the other direction. Let's give it a few minutes and then see how it performs. Okay, it's been a few minutes. Let's see. One of the things that I noticed is that the alcohol seems to be dripping out from this. So I'll just wipe it and let's see. Yes, so you can see the difference. It's become surely a lot more juicier. It's not spreading that much. Let's see on the broad tip side. Okay, so this is how it was before I put the, yeah, so that's the difference. Let's actually try it on a actual page. So I was coloring this when it ran out of ink. Okay, let me see if I can zoom it a bit. Yeah, so I was coloring here when I ran out of ink. So let's see if I can color and if it spreads too much. As you can see, it's working quite well. It is not spreading uncontrollably. So this is how it was when it ran out of ink, and now these 3 petals I colored after I put the alcohol in it. Let's try one more color just to be sure. I'll try to take a darker color just to be what to say, just so that it is more visible to us, right? So I'll try a blue, this one. Let's see. Yeah, so this is how it is, and there, it's like running out. So again we'll try, and this time I'll try to put less, and this is a different branch, this is brand, this is Touch New, that was Tongfu shop. We'll also try one Sharpie just to be sure. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you can make out, but see this, the ink, the nib has become so dry. It doesn't have much ink in it. Okay, so let's see. This time I'll just put 4 or 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. There. Again, I will keep it, if you are able to keep it in an upright position, that's the best way to do it. If not, then at least keep it horizontal. But since I have the ability to do it, what I'm doing is I'm keeping it in upright position in the opposite side. So I have put the alcohol from this end, so I'm keeping it the other way so that it has time to drip down. In the meanwhile, let's try this orange Sharpie. Yeah, you can see it's run out. So let me try now this one. Try to hold the nib as close to the base as possible to avoid damage. Oh, this is not coming off. Okay, so I doubt if Sharpies is possible. Okay, it's coming off now. It surely needs a lot more strength. Okay, as you can see, the nib, it's become like so dry, completely dry. Okay, this is a much smaller pen, so I will put only 1 or 2 drops, not more. In fact, I will say, if you are able to get hold of an ink dropper, that's the best thing, instead of fidgeting around with, because this nozzle is comparatively much larger. Ink dropper will help much better. Okay, and as you can see here, see the damage because of holding it with the pincer. But okay, this one I will leave it horizontal because I have a feeling if I keep it vertically like this, the alcohol might actually just seep out. So let's keep that aside and see if the blue one has started. Okay, again, on the first time that I open, there is a bit of alcohol around the rim. Yeah, so you can see the difference. This is fantastic. Let's see the broad tip. The broad tip I'm not so concerned about because I do know since we put the alcohol from that end it will work properly, but just let us check. Yeah, so there, maybe it can hold more alcohol, but I'm a bit worried. And let's see if the Sharpie has now started working properly. Yes, see the difference. So this is how the purple was, or violet, the blue before and after, okay, and the Sharpie before and after. So I will surely recommend. 75 cents is nothing, and this is going to last me a lifetime. What I will say from my experience, like when I'm actually using it, and you will realize that when you're using it, I don't think I will be able to keep on replenishing this forever, right? I mean, the ink is going to run out, the actual color is going to run out, and it will remain like a colorless blender or something like that later on. But I don't think we need to throw out the budget markers in the first instance they become dry. Renew them at least one time, and then maybe you can throw them out, because I think then the color will, the shade will differ a lot when you put alcohol again and again. Yeah, so that is my take on whether we should try and refill budget markers. Then I will say yes, that is our way of contributing to the environment, and it's also cost friendly, so lighter on your pocket. It's almost free to renew if it's going to cost you so less to get alcohol from the supermarket, and you probably can save a few $100s per year by not having to purchase new markers, and you also contribute by sending a fewer markers to the landfill. So this is my take on it. Of course, let me know in the comments box below, do you agree with me? Would you give it a try? Do you think it is worth it or not? I would really love to know your opinion on this. If you have not yet subscribed, then please do so. Thanks for having stopped by, and have a great day or evening depending on when you're watching it. Bye for now.